Welcome everyone to Tech Talk Live, our 16th episode. And today with me, I have my guest, Miss Ileane Smith. She's also known as the social media diva. Ileane has been on social media for quite a while. She's one of the, I would call her an influencer. She has 193 videos on YouTube. And her video about Blab has had 6,000 plus views. In addition to that, I won't tell you the subscribers. She has, oh my goodness, 3,947 subscribers. And Ileane speaks on a regular basis about blogging, social media, and YouTube. She is a mom of a beautiful daughter, Nikki. It is Nikki, isn't it?
Yes, she's been.
Ileane is my go-to person for social media questions, and I just had to say I am so honored that you could be here today to be my first guest ever as a solo host. And this is my 16th show, and it is so special to me that you are here because you're one of the first persons I met when I joined Blab. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh my God, it's my pleasure to be here. And, you know, like you said, I enjoy Blab, and I remember when you came on. Yeah, because I had a look at your Twitter, remember?
Yes,
and
yes.
I said, you know, when you told me that you were into the aroma and the oils and all that stuff, I said, that's not clear, right? And you
yes,
went,
you did.
And see, what I love, guys, is when people take action. I mean, it doesn't make sense for me to give advice and then people do nothing with it. Pam took action immediately, and she was like, did you see I changed my banner? And I was like, now that looks like, you know, what you do.
I didn't know you were watching.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So Ileane, let me tell you, I took your advice. Yes, I did. The other thing I remember you telling me about was my YouTube channel. And I went there and I looked at that. And that was the one place I thought was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And then I joined your mailing list, and you started sending me the regular updates on your blog.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm reading them.
Great.
I'm going back to your YouTube channel and I'm looking at your tutorials. But I've still been challenged with YouTube. Mm-hmm. My question for you today, to start us off, should everyone on social media have a YouTube channel? Would you recommend it?
Well, I think that it's fine for you to start a YouTube channel, even if you are not ready to start making videos. And here's why. Here's why. Because you can do something that's known as content curation. And that means that you would find the best videos or videos that you like and that offer value on the topic that you know that you're going to be going after that category, and you make playlists. And so people could come to your channel, and even though you may not have that one single video there,
okay,
they would know that you know, let's just say it was you, Pam, even though you have some videos there, they would know that you're into essential oils and aroma and natural, you know, stuff. And they could get a sense of even the islands and, you know, the culture and all of that by you curating videos into playlists.
Wow.
And not only does that introduce your audience to you, it also sends signals to YouTube that, okay, let's show this playlist. And then as you start doing your videos, you start integrating them into these playlists that are already getting popular on YouTube because you've curated good content.
Okay.
And so that's one of the SEO tricks for YouTube videos.
Well,
so, you know, and if even for a person that just decides that for whatever reason, they just never even want to do a video, which is just hard for me to believe. Because you don't have to get on camera to do videos.
True.
You don't have to get on camera to do videos. And there's so many tools now, especially with the advent of all these social media sites that cater to video, like for instance, Instagram. So because Instagram lets you do 15-second videos, there's probably 50 apps that you can download onto your phone, and that's Android or iOS, that let you make videos from your clips, from your stills, and they could be pictures from your backyard, you know, or when you go traveling, or something that you see in life, and you can make a video, and you can upload a 15-second video to YouTube. You can, you know what I mean? So there's really no excuse to not have a YouTube channel. And these days, live video, live streaming, like our dear friend Blab,
Yeah.
this wonderful community that we found, and you know, Periscope, Facebook Live. Now, right now, Facebook Live is only on iPhone, and it's only in certain countries. They're going to roll that out to everybody. You know, you figure the next 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
So, you know, you're just going to go get on video, just get used to getting on video. And like I said, in the meantime, until you get up the courage,
Yeah,
just start using these tools, using these apps. A lot of them are free, guys, and make videos that way.
Ileane, I appreciate you acknowledging aromatherapy diet, but I have another love. That love is technology.
I
Do
see.
you recommend having 2 YouTube channels?
Yes, absolutely. Have 2 channels, because mixing the 2 things could possibly alienate some of your subscribers.
Okay, great.
Because a lot of people that are into the one thing, and it may be that a lot are into both, but the chances are people will want to come to your channel because these 2 things are almost diametrically opposed. You know what I mean? Exactly. The techie side and the natural side, right? Yes. So people, you know, so it's a different mindset. And so even if somebody wants to just sit there and watch your video after video, they're not going to want to be, you know, jumping around between, you know, your calm, soothing voice and yes, retweet, reshare, like. And
I get it. I get it. So the other thing I wanted to ask you, now that I started Blab, I've been using a co-host in my other shows. Wonderful. And I don't want to make them feel left out of anything. Mm-hmm. How do you propose we split the videos if both of us have YouTube channels and we want to monetize? Okay.
You can both actually upload the videos to YouTube. I got to be honest with you. That I don't recommend doing it that way. I would recommend you guys just take turns. I would say, you know, 1 week, or let's just say one, if you're going to be doing it on Tuesdays, which I know you're not, but let's just say you are. This one would be on your channel. Next week, as long as it's going to be your same co-host, next week it can go on their channel. And I would switch it up that way, you know, just to make it fair. But you can technically, YouTube is probably not that keen where they would know that, you know, these 2 videos are so closely aligned. The other thing you could do is edit the video in half. You take the first half, they take the second half. And you could even pause in the middle of the Blab and say, okay, guys, you know, you would pause the recording, but then you would say to everybody in the room, you know, okay, guys, we're going to transition over now. And my co-host is going to come on screen, and then she's going to finish up the interview. Or however you want to do it, or she's going to lead the Q&A part. I understand. I know what it's like, or you can have the co-host lead the Q&A part, and then all that Q&A part could go on to their channel.
Okay, great question. Great answer. I love that answer, and I would certainly take that into consideration when co-hosting a show. The other thing I wanted to ask you is, if, let's just say there is a conflict. Can you explain to me the DMCA rules? Do you know anything about that?
I can tell you. It mostly applies to music.
Okay.
Mostly applies to music, okay? Because YouTube has done something that is really unprecedented, really in the video. They have made deals with all the major record labels. And so therefore, when you upload a video and it has music in the background, YouTube has this fancy, they purchased some company years ago, and I couldn't even tell you what that company is, that can detect that music from that original song is playing.
I've experienced that.
And they will tell you, and they won't shut your channel down or anything like that, but they'll tell you that you can't earn money on that video. The video gets monetized by the owner.
Right. I've had in my aromatherapy Periscope, I played music when we did meditations, or we did a morning affirmations, and I play music. I've tried to upload those on occasion, and I find that they just don't upload them. They just say something's wrong with this video, and they just block it. So I realized the music that I'm using in the background might be the problem.
It could very well be. So what I used to do is I would have intro music, and I actually had the rights to the intro music because I use Animoto, and I pay for the license for any of the music that's on Animoto. And so YouTube's algorithm isn't 100% though. I got to be honest with you, because some of my videos with that intro music got flagged and some didn't. The same exact intro. But they didn't take it down or anything like that. I just couldn't monetize them. But then I learned a trick, because I watch a lot of YouTube, tips and tutorials of how you can edit. So since it was intro, and it was just like, some flashing stuff, a little slideshow announcing that it was my video, I just edited that out. I was like, okay, I don't even care about that intro anymore. My branding is all different now anyway. I just chopped that part off. I was like, oh, no. Put my monetization back on this video.
I'm happy you mentioned branding, because I looked at your site, and I feel videos. You guys, you got to check out Ileane's channel. It is awesome. And I told you there's 193 videos there. But Ileane, for me, you know what my problem was? My thumbnails. Should they all be, I know you got a beautiful in all shapes, sizes, what have you. Is it okay for me to have the same type of background on my thumbnail with my my color scheme across the board, or does that look too boring?
I don't think it looks boring. I think, okay, first, thanks for what you said about my channel, but I can't take any of the credit. You mentioned earlier, my daughter has her own web design company, and her team are the ones that have done the artwork for my thumbnails as well as my YouTube channel and my
that's
blog.
awesome. So we got to give her props.
Yes, Nikki. And that's, in fact, she launched a new site today, I'm sorry, Better Than Success.
Well, be sure to put the link in the chat so we can follow her as well. That is awesome.
So I would say that in the case where a lot of your videos the content is similar, I think it's fine to have the same background, but what's important is that you have text that's bold enough that it can be read from, because remember, people are looking on their phones.
Okay.
So you don't want to have this little itty bitty text, and you don't want to keep going on and on and on. Your text that's on your overlay does not have to match exactly word for word the title of your video. Okay. So let's just say, for example, your video was how to use essential oils to be fragrant in your home. But that's not going to be what's going to be in your thumbnails. It would be how to use essential oils. Nice and big so that people know, oh, that video is about essential oils.
Okay, that is
okay. Then your next video would be about a specific oil, let's just say it was coconut oil, whatever. I'm just making stuff up, guys.
Right.
So that people would know that, okay, even though this has the same branding, because let's just say you had a blue color or, blue and orange or something with the island feel or however you do, or white, people would kind of get to know. Or that's another thing. You could have white and you could just have your logo. You could just have your logo in the corner.
Yes.
You don't want to put it on the bottom right-hand side though. You want to put it either on the left. No. And the reason why is because when people are on their phone, that bottom right hand is covered up by the timestamp.
Oh, now that is great to know. No bottom right. I got to make note of that one.
Right. Not in the bottom right. You can put it on the bottom left. And in the center of the video is covered up by the play button. So, okay, see, a lot of my videos have my face on them, and I don't care if the play button's in the middle of my face, because I'm usually off to the side. That's one reason why I'm off to the side. So it might be covering part of my face,
Okay.
But and you'll get the hang of it, and it's okay. Guess what? You can change your thumbnails over and over. I've changed thumbnails about 5 times on some of those videos.
Oh, that's great to know, because I'm about to
you can change every time you feel like changing them.
Yeah. My watermark, I just learned about watermark. I don't know if anybody else in here has been using watermarks on their
on the video on top of the
right.
I don't
shows ownership, and it is, I think it's a good thing to do, because if they share your video with your watermark, then people know it's you, it's your brand. So in this case, I would recommend to anybody to do that. But taking your tip that you just gave, that is golden. That's a golden nugget, you guys. Hold on to that. Put it up high or to the left, and it won't be covered up.
And I'm going to share with you guys a tool that I use when we're talking about YouTube. I can't not talk about this tool because it's called TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy. And I just put the link over there, and that's my affiliate link but they do have a free version, and it's a Chrome extension. Because one of the things that's really important in your search of your video is your title. And I recommend that folks, if you have a series, you don't want to put the name of your series at the beginning of the video title. You want to put that toward the end, or maybe even leave it off. Okay, so you want your keywords, what your video is about, what people are on YouTube searching for, a solution, or they want to be entertained, or they want to be educated. So they're looking for a thing, or a tutorial, a how-to, or like I said, or they want to be entertained by something. So you want those words to be at the top of the title.
Okay.
And how TubeBuddy helps you is with the tags, because the tags are important on the YouTube videos, and they will tell you how you're ranking in search for all the tags that you've added, and they will also suggest to you tags that will make your videos rank better.
Okay, that is fantastic. I just learned a whole lot in that segment. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Ileane.
You're welcome,
You know,
dear.
I've always wanted to get back to you and talk with you since our first meeting on Blab. And I didn't know you remembered so much about first meeting me. But what I wanted to ask you, and I never got the opportunity, and that is, tell me how you got started.
Ah. Okay.
On Blab, that is.
Oh, on Blab.
No. You look like you had a good story right there. Go back.
I can tell y'all both stories.
Okay.
Because I always say I never get tired of telling this story, okay? About how I got started online.
Okay.
First of all, I do have, you guys know I have a day job, and I've been working there for 33 years. Back in 2009, at that time, when I would go on the internet, the only thing I really would use would be Internet Movie Database, which is so ironic because I don't even watch movies now. But my girlfriend and I would be like, no, that wasn't starring so-and-so. That was starring such and such. Oh, yeah, he was in that movie too, right? We would look at Merriam-Webster's because she's like a wordsmith and so am I. And, sites like that. That's all I knew about blogs, but I didn't really follow blogs. But, and we talked about my daughter, Nikki. So one day Nikki says to me, and she wasn't living here in the city with me in Philly. She was living in LA. So I was missing my baby, right? Okay. Even though I call her my baby, guys, but she's an adult. And so she said, Mom, I have a blog. So I was like, you got a blog? So I was like, okay, I got to subscribe to my daughter's blog, right? So I go over there, and it was WordPress.com. And I go over there and I'm just filling in this information because I really don't know how to subscribe. It turned out that I was signing up for a blog. I wasn't subscribing. Okay. And so that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I got a blog? Oh, okay. Let me start writing. So I actually started blogging by accident. That's how I started blogging.
Wow.
And so then when it came to Blab, I think the first live streaming app that I even took a look at was Meerkat. And over on Meerkat, and she's still over there, there's this lovely, wonderful lady, Lydia, whose handle is The Living Chic. And she comes to Blab sometimes. And she does a motivational. She's like an inspirational person. And so sometimes, even though I would be at work, I would have my earbud in listening to her with all these positive messages. And so one day she said, okay, I'm going over on Blab when I'm finished here. And I was like, Blab? What's that? And she typed in the handle because a lot of people were saying, Blab, what's that? And that was sometime in late June or early July. And I have been here every single day ever since.
Wow, that is awesome. Well, like me, it was accidental too. I was on Periscope and a friend of mine said to me, join me on Blab tonight. And I said, what's that? So she says, it's blab.im. Just hit the button and look for Tina. I said, what? I said, hit the button and look for Tina C. Hines. I said, okay, not knowing what I was doing. So I did as she said and came over and I saw her and she was talking to me and we were on the same screen. We were talking. I got excited. So I said, oh, this is interesting. So at the same time, Stephanie and I were talking about doing Periscopes and sharing our recipes for aromatherapy. So I said, Stephanie, let's go over to Blab and do a show. So she said, what's Blab? I said, guess what? We're going to learn together. If you go to my YouTube channel tonight, you will find the first video there is Stephanie and I being trained on how to use Blab.
Good.
And that's the first video we have on my YouTube channel. And I think it's on hers as well. So, I've been here ever since. I think it's been like 168 days.
Okay.
And since then, I've had 2 shows, the tech show, and Sunday nights we did a aromatherapy show that she and I, both Stephanie Thompson, who was just here, she had to run away. She and I hosted on Sunday nights. We shared recipes. We played games with the essential oils, because while I am selling essential oils, I'm also studying aromatherapy. And one of the things I have to do is I have to learn the English name and the Latin name. So
Okay.
we play games.
Okay.
We play games with the names and name that oil, and you had to give both the Latin and the
That sounds like fun. That sounds like
I had people who were not even in essential oils chiming in on that blab. Okay, that was fun, and it helped me to learn my Latin names for the essential oils. So now I have this other love. I have a degree in management information systems that I have not been using. And in October, I met a couple other people in a tech blab. And I started my Tech Talk blabs on Friday nights at 7, along with 2 other co-hosts. And there I got to use my knowledge that was not being used. I teach other persons about what I've learned. I'm sharing and I'm gaining, because I didn't know much about SEO. And I know with SEO, you get Google rankings and your viewers go up and all the rest of that. So I wanted to be in that environment, and hence came Tech Talk Live.
okay.
But recently I decided to do some rebranding and now do interviews with the experts. And I can't tell you how delighted I am that you accepted this invitation to be here tonight, because not only am I learning about YouTube, I'm learning about SEO from you. I'm also learning about Snapchat, and I'm learning about Blab.
Mm-hmm.
But of all of that, I still have another Blab question for you.
Well, I just want to say something really quick, though, Pam. You know what? Can you mute? Because we got an echo all of a sudden, and I think it might be on your end. But sometimes if you mute and unmute, it goes away.
Is it there?
It sounds better now.
Oh, great.
When I first came here, Blab didn't have recordings of videos.
Are you serious?
They were just testing it. And I think it was maybe my second day here. I was like, well, I want to test. And Furcon was, they were really coming in the rooms and really active back then in just about every blab. And Furcon said, DM me and I will tell you what to do. And he gave me a list, and I probably still have that DM somewhere.
Really?
What to do and how to make sure that. And he said, and we will send you a link with the. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy! I got on this new platform, and already they're making me feel special.
That's like how you made me feel special.
Oh,
okay. So I know you wrote a blab guide, and that's on your YouTube channel. Is there a link that you would like to share? Maybe some others could use that, or we could tell them how to get to it to help some novices who are new to blab.
Actually, what it is, I have a blab cheat sheet, and it's a Google Doc. Guys, it's a bit.ly link that I just posted over there. But on that cheat sheet, you'll see a link to my video about how to use Blab. And you'll also see a link to my video about how to upload your Blabs to YouTube, but how to optimize your videos. So I give some of those YouTube SEO tips in that other video. So there's 2 videos linked on that cheat sheet.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate that so much.
Dear.
Now, the other love of your life this week, and I know because I'm on one of your followers, Snapchat.
Yes.
How are you enjoying Snapchat?
Snapchat is really fun. I think it was one of those things like when you talk about Twitter, right? When I first got on Twitter, I remember saying, this is the dumbest thing ever until I realized how I could use it. And I was the same way with Snapchat. And I just kept hearing folks would come on Blab and they'd be saying, oh, that's the dumbest thing ever. And now that I know how to use it, I'm like, snap, wait a minute, let me do a snap. Wait, let me snap this. Oh, let me snap that. I get up in the morning, snap. What?
Let me tell you about let me tell you a story about Snapchat. I was first exposed to Snapchat maybe in about February of last year, when my little niece, she had her snaps going on. So I ignored her totally until she brought me the phone and said, look at this. And it was the Prime Minister of the country on Snapchat with his daughter saying hello to everybody. So I said, okay, give me a second look. And I looked at it and I said, no, I don't think I'm ready for this. Because the way that snap was taken, it was in a festive atmosphere at one of our carnivals. So everybody was extremely happy. And I said, no, I can't deal with that. I'm not ready. But last week, I was inundated with persons in my circle who are on Snapchat. And I was happy to see you on there. I was delighted to see you on there.
Yeah.
And I just must say that I thank you so much for adding me. And I'm looking forward to learning more from you about snapping and of course the little the faces that you do. I haven't learned that part yet. You know, the thing you did,
the filters. The filters. I showed how to do that. I showed how to do that in a blab I did yesterday here. So
well, I gotta go look at that recording.
Yeah. You can watch that blab I did yesterday.
Right. Yeah. I got to, because it is fun. And is there any other places we can go to get your courses? Like if we wanted to do, are you on Udemy or any other of the
Yeah, I use Teachable, and you can go to, I just put the link in there, it's learn.ileanesmith.com.
Okay, great. Fabulous. Fabulous. Yeah. Because I'm sure I will be doing one or two of those courses in the very near future. And I'm sure my guests and friends would be following you also. Would you like to share your Snap?
Sure.
Code?
Yeah. You know, now you don't even have to use the code. You could just go in there and type in, and it's Ileane. It's Ileane Smith.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Fabulous.
Yes. But I do want to answer this question. That's the only reason why I opened the seat, because I was going to pin this question. From Loud Radio, I have a silly but curious question. If there was a platform where you can monetize from your live broadcast, would you join that platform if they offer you a 60-40 split pay? I would, you know, you have to tell me more about it. I don't know. I can't just say, oh yeah, I'm already monetizing my live broadcast on YouTube. So, I would need to know more. And I think I've heard of, or you've asked that question somewhere else.
Yes, I've seen that in the blog today.
And so I need to know more. In fact, I get those kinds of questions all the time. I was in my inbox going through right before I came over here, and there was people, will you try this out? We just launched this new platform. Oh, it's going to be so wonderful for you. Yeah, here, try this out. Oh, try this out. And it's like, okay, I have my own stuff to do. I just don't have time to try out every new platform that comes out. There is new platforms coming out every day. You know, they reach out to me even on Twitter as well. And when it comes to stuff that's new, and even when I came over here to Blab, like I just told you guys the story about how I came over here, it wasn't a thing where Blab was going out trying to recruit people, and they still don't try to recruit people to come over to Blab. And a lot of people get upset about, why don't you try to get more coverage in the media? And Sean has told them, because a lot of times it doesn't even equate to anything. They get featured on different publications, and nobody comes. So that's not, you word of mouth, and people actually saying. Now, if someone came to me and said, I've been using this network, if it's somebody that I know and that is already one of my trusted friends in my circle, then it may get my attention if I have time. But just like a random out of the clear blue sky, would I be interested just because of the split and the this and that? No.
Okay. The last question before I open up the seat and anybody else, anybody wanting to come in and ask Ileane or myself a question, I'm going to open up the seat. But before we do that, Ileane, the new app, Solo app, I saw you yesterday. I think
Live Air Solo.
Yes, tell me about that. That sounds interesting. Immediate upload to YouTube. You might be saving me a couple steps.
You don't even have to upload to YouTube. You will be using YouTube Live. See, YouTube Live has been around for ages.
Okay.
But you needed to have high-tech, expensive equipment. And Wirecast is one. And you'll see a lot of the guys that come on here that are broadcasters, you can tell that they're using Wirecast because they're switching camera angles, and they've got this big fancy background in the back, like Marty McFadden and my friend, Steve from Tech Buzz. He works for one of these companies. So there's 2 apps, but they're only Apple apps, guys, iOS apps only. So this simplified the process because now you can get them on your phone. Okay, so
am I ready?
Yes, you're ready. You're ready. And I tell folks all the time, and I'm not a big Apple fangirl, but if you're going to be into this live streaming, just get an iPhone, because all the apps come to iPhone first, and you're going to be very frustrated sitting around saying, when are you going to have the Android app? When's the Android app coming? When are the new features going to come to Android? Everything comes to Apple and iOS first when it comes to live streaming. Okay. So for example, these 2 apps, they're iOS apps. Now you would think that YouTube would have an Android app already to do that streaming, but they don't. Okay, wow. So you would have thought that would have been out first, but they don't have one. So YouTube Live is something that you need to have enabled on your channel. And that's one of the things I go over in my course, all the different things that you need to have turned on. And basically, you can go to your account settings and just make sure you have all green lights. Because if you don't have all green lights, you're not going to be able to use YouTube Live. One of the biggest mistakes people make with their YouTube channel is that they don't monetize them. And they think, well, I don't want to monetize my videos. I don't want ads on my videos. But Google plays a game with you where they want you to monetize. So they hide features behind that. So if you don't monetize, you don't get all the special perks. Okay. So here's the page that you guys need to go to, because if you're logged into your YouTube, everybody has the same page, and you just need to look on that page and make sure that everything is a green light.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Ileane.
And so one of the things is live streaming, and that there's about 12 things on here. Okay. At a real quick scan. And the third one from the bottom is live streaming. So if you have that turned on, you'll also notice that you have an area of where you can go live on your left-hand side. One of these options here is live streaming. And like I said, if you're on desktop, you have to have Wirecast. But on your phone, you can use Live Air Solo. And that is a tutorial that I just did. In fact, one of the big YouTubers, his name's Gideon Showick. He's been doing live video. And so I left a comment and told him, you should check out this Live Air Solo app. And he did. And he gave me a big shout out in his live video. Yes. Oh, yeah, you saw my snap. Yeah. Yep. I was like, oh my God. I can't. Because Gideon, not only has he been doing I'm doing YouTube video for a long, long time. He also has 2 products that are related to YouTube. One is to make your intros and outros, and the other one is for YouTube ads. So he's very keen on anything related to YouTube because that just helps business for him.
Okay, great. Does anybody have a question they would like to ask either myself or Ileane? Here's your opportunity. Please jump in.
Yeah, I just want to comment on what Blackout's Box is saying, that Apple is only 40% of the smartphone market. They may be, but when it comes to live streaming, they are the first ones out the box. So I'm not saying if you don't care about live streaming, then, and I'm like I said, I'm not an Apple fangirl. I'm just a realist.
Yeah.
I know that all the apps come on iPhone first.
Exactly.
It's just a reality. It has nothing to do with me liking Apple or I could care less about Apple. Apple have not really given me anything. They're waiting for me to buy their products.
Exactly. When I was buying my phone, I had a person saying to me, why are you paying that for that phone? You can get an inexpensive phone. And they said, oh, the apps on the Android is free. I said, hold on. It doesn't have what I want. It doesn't have the apps that I want on the Android. So I'm going with Apple.
Yeah. And Blackout's Box, I'm sorry, dear, that you're mistaken. You can stream out of the box on YouTube to YouTube with Apple 6S because Gideon Showick did it last night.
Yep.
Using Live Air. So, and I just have the 6 Plus. I don't have the 6 Plus S or whatever, but he did it last night. So it works. And Live Air Solo, yes, you need a third-party app. That's right, exactly. You need a third-party app because YouTube doesn't have one. And so Gideon's hope is that YouTube will come out with one. I don't care. I don't care who comes out with the app. So that's why I'm like, I'm not waiting around for YouTube. Live Air Solo is free. And the Wirecast Go, they have free features, but at some point you might as well just get the one it's $5.99. And the guy Steve, who is a big time blabber here, and he does a broadcast. He works for Telestream, and they're also the same people that make ScreenFlow, which is a screencast recording software for the Mac.
Great.
Yes.
SEO. Any tips for us on SEO and getting Google rankings, or getting our?
Oh, you mean for your blog or?
For the blog or our YouTube videos.
Okay, two totally different things. And the thing about it is, I guess you could kind of say that YouTube's SEO is kind of what Google's SEO used to be. But then Google, I think, wanted to keep the quality up more so on the web. And it's easier for them to do it because with videos, they can't read the text. They don't know what people are saying. They can only go by engagement. They can only go by people. That's why watch time became such a big thing on YouTube. And people can get their videos transcribed, which I do, and a lot of folks do. But let's face it, guys, 500 hours worth of video get uploaded to YouTube every minute. So there's a lot of people that ain't transcribing the videos.
Yeah, I would.
And not to mention different languages, right? So anyway, in general, YouTube can't read the video. So the only indication that they have that people are pleased with something that they've clicked on is because they stay longer and they watch it.
Oh,
So that says to YouTube, okay, this video says it was about this topic. 500 people went and watched it, and they watched it for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5. So they love it when you have longer watch time.
okay.
So, but on the web, it got a little bit more technical with what, your title, of course, is important, but then they also have this thing called metadata, which is almost like a short snippet or summary of your article, which also has to include keywords. And I'm not, I shouldn't say I'm not a big fan of SEO. I do like SEO because of the fact that the goal of it is for us to have better content when we do a Google search. But the point of the matter is to research that you have to do in order to find the right keywords to rank for and make sure you're not competing with the big boys and all that stuff. That's boring. So if you can get someone who's qualified to do it for you, and in the meantime, just do the best you can, guys, because really, be honest, Google tells you not to use SEO.
They do?
Yeah, they don't want people to use SEO. They want people to use what they call semantic speak. Write the way you talk. And the search should be, not even about keywords, and forget about the focus of all this. Now, they say that, but then again, they have all these tools to help you with SEO. So go figure.
Yeah. Well, Ileane, I got to say, it's been such an enjoyable time spending this evening with you. I'm just, like I said, I'm honored that you took the time from your schedule to be here with me this evening. I'm just surprised that no one else jumped in the seat to ask you a question, because I know there are tons of questions out there. Oh, here comes Moon Shadow. Hello, Moon.
Hi, Ileane.
How are you?
How you doing?
Good. Well, my question is the difference between keywords, meta tags, and what is the best way to utilize your website to go on to all the search engines like Yahoo and Google and Dogpile and all that. What would be the best way to optimize your website and videos and that to be able to hit all those search engines and be on the top?
Well, hopefully you're using WordPress.
No, I'm not.
Okay. It's going to be more challenging if you're not using WordPress, because WordPress, folks have made it easier with WordPress by using plugins. And some of those plugins can make that job of knowing what that metadata is and all that a lot easier. But one of the things that you have to do, no matter what kind of site you have, is make sure you register with what it used to be called Google Webmaster Tools, but now it's called the Search Console. But if you look for any tutorials, guys, it's going to say Webmaster Tools. Well, Bing has a Webmaster Tools as well. And so the Yahoo wants you to verify your site with them as well. So basically what it is, it's a snippet of code, but don't let that, scare you. Just like when you grab the code to embed a blab on your blog, right? Blab has this little code over here. It's the same way. You sign into your account on Google. You go to the Webmaster Tools, and it gives you a little code, and it tells you the meta code, and it tells you where to put it, and you put it, and then they say, oh, it's verified. And then that lets the spiders and the bots crawl your site, looking for the information, looking for the data to know what you're talking about, what your blog is about. And Bing, but nobody ever really talks too much about Bing and Yahoo, but they have them as well. So does Alexa, so the other search engines you mentioned, like Dogpile, and I know there's another one, DuckDuckGo or something like that.
Yes, DuckDuckGo. I like Dogpile just because it's one search and you get a lot of results.
Okay.
It's a meta search.
Okay, so that's just like an aggregator of other search engines.
Right. Well, you can use Google. Google's good for like images and that. If I want to get specific things and I know exactly what I'm looking for, then I'll just go Google. But with the dogpile.com, basically it searches Yahoo as well as Google, and then I have more results so I can get to it faster and more efficiently.
Yeah. So like I said, you has a webmaster tools as well. So you need to sign up for a Microsoft account, and then you can just go in there and type in Bing Webmaster Tools, and it'll take you there. And then you get that code from them, and you put that in. And most of the time they want that code to be in the head, which is really easy when you're on WordPress. Other blogs, I can't tell you how easy or how difficult it may be.
Yeah, I use Weebly, and it's the user interface is pretty good. Okay.
And they probably have a lot of instructions there to show you how to do that. I know my friend Bonnie L. Frank, who's here on Blab and Periscope and Mevi, she used Weebly as well. So, but I don't know if she does the SEO piece, because she and I talked about SEO one day. We were having a little, we were lamenting together about how much we don't like SEO.
Yeah. Well, ultimately,
okay.
I think you had it right. SEO is pretty boring, and it's not something where, but utilizing certain keywords, I can honestly say, from starting Blab, all of a sudden my Twitter's blown up, my YouTube channel's blown up, I get a lot more viewers, and it's also because sometimes you have to look behind the curtain to a little bit of boring code, and that sometimes it makes a little bit of difference. So that's why I asked that question.
And another tip that I can give everybody, you're making sure you're using images on your blog, right? So when you're uploading the image, the file name, now on WordPress, it actually gives you an area to put in the title of the image. So, and that's helpful too when somebody's pinning it on Pinterest, or when they tweet it and pulls in that image has the title of your post, or whatever it is that you want to go along with that tweet.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works on Weebly, but I would say at least make sure that when you're uploading images that you give them the file name, so that it's not just like, say you took it with your camera and your camera's going to call it DMC 149. You want to change that name to the Buffalo Bills practice on January 19th or whatever. So you want to change, because that's another signal that sends out to the search engines what this image is. And this also helps people who are impaired, who have handicaps, especially visually impaired, if they can still read your article, because there's a thing that they can turn on.
Oh, fantastic.
Browser, and then it will say image here, the Buffalo Bills practice from, I just used that because you had a B on your head. I don't even know what the B stands for.
Red Sox, Boston Red Sox.
Okay, Boston.
But I give you an A for effort, though.
I realized it wasn't Buffalo because, it was the wrong color. But that was the first thing that came to my mind when I saw the B.
Well, thank you very much, Ileane, for the answer to your question. It was a very big help.
You're welcome. Yes. And just Elizabeth also asked about the WordPress plugin. It would be Yoast, Yoast.
That's exactly what I use.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the go-to plugin. And my friend Mayanna, who's here, Blog Aid, you guys check her out. She's not even bored by SEO. She loves it. So y'all can ask her all the SEO questions.
Oh, really? Mayanna?
Yes, and Mayanna, but her handle here on Blab is Blog Aid.
Okay.
I will type that in, and she is my buddy. And if I have an SEO question, she is the one I go to. And she has a lot of blabs where it's like, ask me anything about WordPress or SEO. She'll do them impromptu. And then she also has like a WordPress Wednesday. And so, she does regular blab shows. here, and she talks a lot about SEO. And she brings on experts like Mark Traphagen and so forth to talk about SEO. So those are my go-to folks.
Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us, Ileane. You don't know how much this means to me, because to me, you are my Oprah Winfrey of social media.
I wish I could lose some weight like Oprah. Boy, she looks good these days.
And you can do it. Anything you want to do in life, you can do it.
I sure can. I'm starting to meditate. Oh, and by the way, the other day when we were doing the meditation, there was a blab glitch. I said, well, you know what? I should record it because you heard me in the beginning. Yes. And when I pushed record, it kicked me out. And so then I was just like, and so I now was going, but I didn't know it at first. I was going on and on. Then later I saw you type, I don't hear her. And I was like, oh, shucks.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have that handy?
Oh, it's an app. You got it because you got iOS.
And no. I want you to just start it so we can hear it and sign me out. I'll sign out with it. But I wanted to do that so badly because that week, or this week, when we were starting that meditation, it was a very challenging week for me. And I was so surprised to find that you did them as well. Mm-hmm. So,
Okay, I'm just going to play a little bit of it so you guys can hear what it sounds like.
Body scan. The purpose of body scan is to simply check in to see what's going on in your body with open curiosity. There's no need to judge or try to change anything. We're just bringing attention to each part of our body in sequence, noticing how each part is connected to the next.
Now, I don't want your video to get DMCA.
I know. Okay. That's okay.
But I just want to show I want to show everybody the app, okay?
Yes, please, because it was beneficial to me, and I'd love to share it with everybody else.
So what I'll do, guys, is whenever Blab gets a little bit less buggy, I will actually play it in my headphones, but then I'll repeat it out to you guys so we can do the meditation together. Exactly. But it's called Stop, Breathe, and Think.
Oh, great.
So I'm going to type that in.
It was just what I needed on that day. I went ahead and I did an Oprah and Deepak meditation after, but that was what I really needed, just to breathe and relax.
Mm-hmm. And so, it does wonders, for calming your mind. And also I think it definitely will help with weight loss because it helps you focus and not your mind be so jumbled and scattered. And that a lot of times is why we eat or we don't work out because we're not focused.
Exactly.
So focus. And if I had some great smelling oils, that probably would help me too.
Excuse me, ma'am. Check your DM in about 2 minutes. There's a message for you, okay? With that being said, I'm going to say thank you again. It was my pleasure having you here with us. Any last words for my guests, for my audience?
Absolutely. Guys, I'm so glad you guys are here on Blab. And I just want to keep encouraging you to keep this community strong, keep, visiting each other's Blabs, doing these collaborations and these interviews. And it is just so much fun. So it's my pleasure to be here with you guys.
With that, I say thank you, and I look forward to seeing you again here in this platform or even as a guest in the future. Thank you for being my first guest as a solo host. I'm just so touched. Thank you. I can't thank you enough.
Oh, thank you.
And with that, I say goodbye. And
bye, everybody.